Today I'm going to be testing out the 12-pan pearlescent watercolors from Paul Rubens. I've been impressed lately with their line of watercolor paints and accessories, and they made up a good chunk of my Christmas list this year, so expect more Paul Rubens videos in the future. Previously, I've tried their glitter watercolor paper, as well as their line of fluorescent watercolor tubes. Both products I've really enjoyed. These particular paints are rated highly with 4.6 out of 5 stars. The products are packaged with care and presented in a way that feels luxurious, and I appreciate that, especially when and if the actual quality of the products match that careful presentation. I am such a sucker for nice packaging. The pink tin is so cute that I can't decide whether or not I'm going to keep it in the little box or if I'm going to reuse it. For now, I'm probably going to keep it nice and safe in the box. These paints were $45 Canadian on Amazon, which could be a bit pricey, but it is comparable to the Kuretake pearlescent colors, which are about $20 to $30 per 6 pans, though Kuretake paints are huge full-size pans, and the Paul Rubens set comes in half pans. According to the listing, these paints are artist grade, which means that they should have a high light fastness rating. Pearlescent watercolors are great for adding in details in paintings, as well as for calligraphy and card making, though generally they're more subtle in their shimmer than glitter or metallic paints. The colors in the pans are really pretty, so I really hope that the color payoff is consistent when I actually put the paint to paper. I'm going to be swatching these paints on both white and black paper. The box did come with a little swatch card, but it's always best to test out these kinds of paints, glitter, metallic, or pearlescent, on black or toned paper to really make it pop and stand out so you can get a good idea of the color payoff. My first impression of these paints is that the formula is pretty creamy, and it doesn't dry chalkily like some cheaper watercolors tend to. They also dry a bit slower than I'm used to, so just be aware of that to avoid any smudging or having the colors run too much, though that can often lead to some really cool designs if you just go with the flow. The colors are very pretty. On the white paper, the pearlescent effect is much more subtle, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I could see that being lovely in a painting of a spring bouquet. I really like and prefer the way that the paint looks on black watercolor paper, and I've decided to do my test painting on this paper to really see how the paint behaves. I'm hoping that the colors will look more rich and saturated. I wouldn't normally paint an entire picture with just pearlescent colors, but I really wanted to put these paints to the test. Apologies in advance if the picture is too overwhelming or busy. I think subconsciously I chose to paint a sea creature because these colors remind me of rainbow fish. One thing that I was wondering about was the difference between glitter, metallic, and pearlescent. Upon looking into it, I found that the difference is in what sparkly material is added into the pigment. Glitter is little flecks of metals or metallic materials, and pearlescent pigments come in a powder, generally made up of the mineral mica. It is generally more expensive than metallic, as it is made up of ceramic particles rather than aluminum particles. Ceramic means neither metallic nor organic, so stones and minerals. Pearlescent colors are more subtle in their shimmer than glitter or metallic, which might not be for everyone depending on what you're using the paint for. This paint isn't very transparent, but more so than metallic paint, so you can layer them for a nice effect. They also mix well when the colors are wet, resulting in some interesting swirls and patterns. It's all very magical. So what's my final verdict on these paints? Well, I really like them. I think they give a really nice color payoff, a nice more subtle sheen than my more metallic paints, but in no way do I think a pearlescent or glitter watercolor set is an essential tool for a beginner watercolorist. Unless you have a specific use in mind for these paints, such as calligraphy or adding detail to a painting or card making, you could probably do without them. That being said, I'm definitely going to get a lot of use out of these paints, especially when convention season starts and I start selling some original pieces and commissions. Since, like the glitter watercolor paper, the pearlescent effect is most noticeable in person. Paul Rubens also has more expensive sets that are pearlescent or glitter, with more colors, 24 and 48 pans. But for right now, that seems a bit excessive for me, at least for my current painting needs. I really love this cute little tin, and it's definitely earned its place among my palettes. Happy painting, and thanks so much for watching.